Hi, hello, welcome in CHGO Bears Podcast. Oh, what a day it's been. An eventful practice at Hallis Hall. We're here to break it down. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, we have pulled him out of timeout. He is back. He is with us. We apologize for the slight delay on today's show. Nicholas Moreano furiously tweeting away here still. And that guy. Oh, that's Greg Braggs, who was just hacking up my yard with a 9-iron. When I pulled up.
It's a wedge. A wedge.
That's the effort that we love out of Greg Braggs. I am in a great mood. Despite what I just said 5 seconds ago, I love every single Chicago Bears fan, including the two that I just ran into in the parking lot. I would like to personally apologize to the show for being a little bit late today, but I was waiting around for Tremaine Edmonds, and I put my phone up there to record it. Then I couldn't find my phone because I forgot I put it there, and all that happened. But when I ran into Jamie and Bill in the Bears parking lot just a second ago, and I had my Tourette's moment of the day on the tweet that we're about to talk about with Darnell Mooney. And I said, that's what he said, really loud. And Jamie and Bill, I was walking by myself, head down, talking out loud in a parking lot, right? And I was like, that's what he said. And then these two guys turn around and they look right at me like, who is this weirdo talking to himself? And then like one step later, it was, hey, Carm, love the show. Great, like really, really love it. I'm like, what are your names, Jamie? So Jamie and Bill saw me speaking to myself in the parking lot and then flying out of the parking lot to try to make it here on time. But I do, if we can, get into Darnell Mooney and what he had to say about Justin Fields. I think that would be great for this program and for my sanity.
Yeah, I think everything's going to be okay. I think so. You never know with Bears Twitter. But let's just tell the story. First of all, it starts with the fact that the offense was not good today, and this is not a he said, she said day. This is a pretty much unanimous opinion shared by, most importantly, Luke Getsy and Justin Fields, because they came out and they're like, yeah, the defense won practice, which was obvious to anybody who was there, and that's okay, because I think overall, and we can get into the details of this a little bit later on, because I do want to concentrate mostly on the Fields Mooney stuff to start. But this has not been a defense-dominating offense throughout camp type thing. I think this has been up and down. I think it's been fun. I think it's maybe just a little, leaves a little sour taste in your mouth that it's been like since the pads went on. Now this is when the defense is taking over. Yep. But I love Justin Fields' attitude. Off day tomorrow, come back Friday. There's going to be 3 fun practices this weekend, including Family Fest at Soldier Field. Let's see what it looks like a few days from now. Not worried about it, but that is what we saw today. The thing that I thought stood out, and Carm, you and I did a video out as soon as practice was over, before Getsy and Fields talked, just recapping what we saw. And the first thing I pointed out was what I didn't like was that the defense was chirping and they had all the swagger and all that, which that part I liked. I should clarify. What I didn't like was that the offense was just like silent. Like there was no energy. There was no fight back. So what I really loved was like the second we stopped that video and we went back inside, Luke Getsy was already inside in the process of agreeing with that sentiment and taking objection to that idea, and said that's why he started yelling at his guys in the middle of practice, because he didn't like that they were walking back to the huddle. And then Fields followed and said, yeah, got to have more energy. I got everyone together after practice and told them that we got to work on this. And then Darnell Mooney talks, and as part of him saying, yeah, we need to have more energy, that starts with the quarterback. And let's just start here with this, because I know we have the audio ready. Better to just have Darnell Mooney said what Darnell Mooney said than any of us. But here was his response to him talking about how the offense can get more energy.
I think it starts, one, with the quarterback. I mean, he has to come in the huddle, bring confidence in the huddle, and understand that it's just with him. Justin is a calm guy, so he has to understand that that he is our leader and our guy. So we go as far as he goes, and he has to come in with that juice, and he does. He does come in. Sometimes he's just so locked in and so dialed into what he's doing. He has to like sometimes click in and like, hey, I got to get my guys jumping. That's why sometimes I'll come up to him, just hit him in the back of the head or jump him to him. I try to get him like not so locked in, so he understand like, hey, we looking at you to see how far we can go. So, and him being a young guy, I mean, it is what it is. This is his team, but he understands that he has to bring the juice every day.
There it is. That, to be clear, that is definitely not anybody throwing anyone under the bus. It is just a reality, and it's something we have talked. I liked hearing that from Mooney because it's something we've talked about a lot. I know I've said it a million times, but when I watch Justin Fields play football, I can sense, just even sometimes watching on television, the ups and downs of his, I like to call it swagger.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this applies for any football player to some extent. When you're losing, sidelines are going to be quiet. When you're winning, there's going to be a lot more energy. But fighting through that is what I think is very important. And Fields is definitely, to what Mooney was saying there, he can be very serious. He can be.
Well, that's the natural thing, right? When you have
Another timeout.
Keep going.
So
Put your nose in the corner.
I liked hearing that Mooney acknowledging that and saying that, like, yeah, because this is a team game. You got to lean on your teammates too. It can't just all be on the quarterback. So really, this is a win all around. I feel like the offensive guys acknowledged their energy sucked today. Mm-hmm. The quarterback said something about it. And another player on that offense acknowledged that, yeah, it starts with the quarterback, and we got to encourage him sometimes too to keep it going. I don't see any problem with this. It's a fun football discussion.
Yeah, and Justin Fields said himself, too, like, he will be the one, if the defense is still chirping, like, he'll be the one to give the energy. And we always see Fields bring that energy in games after he has a big run, does his little first down marker, and then you see that swagger, the vocalness from Fields. So you don't obviously get to see that as much in training camp, but to me, what Mooney said, too, it's almost like natural. Like, yeah, it starts with the quarterback. No duh. Like, the energy from, your team, the offensive side, needs to start with your signal caller. And I think it's just something that he looks to. And because Justin Fields is such a dialed-in guy with this complex offense, wants to get everyone lined up in time. Like Mooney said, he'll have to slap Fields in the back of the head like, hey, we still need you to bring that, though, because you are the leader of this offense, and we'll look to you when we need to get that energy resurgence. So, again, I didn't have a problem with how Mooney addressed it, and especially how Fields handled his press conference today, you guys. I know it was a down day for the offense, but he came in, he was smiling about the sun-kissed crushed soda at the beginning of it, and I kind of knew maybe this one might be different in terms of how he approached the press conference, and I thought he absolutely killed it today.
I loved Justin's press conference today. I thought he could have had a very muted down day because the offense didn't have a good day, and he was the exact opposite. He was owning it. He was a great growthful day. I thought that it was one of the most impressive press conferences that he's ever had, and he's had a lot of impressive press conferences. So it really jumped. True. It was really, to use the word impressive one more time. I mean, look, Luke Getsy had a moment on the field where he had to say something because it was bothering him about the energy. And Adam, to your point where you started this whole thing, I was sitting there and I was so happy that you brought it up in the 3-minute video that we did, where I'm like, wow, the offense is really quiet right now. Nick, I don't know if you were having the same exact thought at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, to put it in, like, to kind of paint a picture for everybody who wasn't at practice, we were on the sideline with the offense today. The defense was across the field. We could hear everything the defense was saying, all their chirping, because it was a church on our side.
Church mouse.
You could hear us. The offensive guys could probably hear us talking about how quiet it was because that's how quiet it was.
Yep, exactly.
It was painfully quiet. Mm-hmm. It was like you had no. There's probably no other thought that you should have, like, wow, they are, because I thought I heard like DJ Moore mumble something coming back to the bench after one of the plays where he didn't get the football. And I wasn't sure if he did or didn't. I don't know. I thought I did. But the bottom line is, I think it was just not going well. And I did like that Fields also said at the back end that it turned on the 2-minute at the back end of practice, because they did look a whole lot better. And then Getsy underlining that they're putting a lot of stuff in there to see if the offense can handle it, basically trying to put them in a compromised position to see how they're going to react, which is, hey, you're going to be playing NFL football games against NFL football players, and it's going to be really difficult. So we're going to make it difficult for you in training camp too, so you can handle it when it really matters. I was wondering, how much do you want to build these guys' confidence up along with making it difficult? but I didn't get that question in because people were firing away at Getsy at the back end of the press conference. So
yeah, it was noticeable. Like for the fans on the far other side of the field, they played on field 1 today, which is closest to the facilities, but furthest from the fans in the stands. And from that side of the field where they did limited amount of practice, that was mostly on your guys' end. I tweeted during practice, while there's supposed to be twice as many snaps as yesterday, today's practice doesn't have the same energy as yesterday from my vantage point. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because they're on the far side of the stands, but noticeable difference in energy. So I'm glad that was echoed sentiment in the press conferences and Luke Getsy taking notice right in the moment, because yesterday I thought both sides of the ball were competing, and today it was the defense letting the offense have it. They were barking at these guys, constant shit talking going on, and you love that from Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, who seem to be asserting themselves in their second year in the league. But it got to a point where the offense had so much of it that they all almost got into a bit of a skirmish. And then at the very end of practice, when they do 11-on-11 2-minute drill, first team versus second team, that was when the offense finally woke up. And that was right after the skirmish. And they went 5 for 5 down the field. They weren't able to execute in the red zone, but they started to move the ball a little bit. And you almost felt like that was a little pep in their step because of the way the defense was showing them up.
Maybe. Yeah, it was a little bit better there at the end, although it would have been nice if they got in the end zone.
Yep.
Yes, we can definitely say happy birthday, Steve, to your daughter, Sadie, from California. Happy 9th birthday, Sadie. She's watching the show.
Happy
we
birthday.
appreciate it.
Brisker, Sadie. the chippiness that you're talking about, the skirmish that you're talking about, Braggs, it happened, and we talked about this in the other video, but let's bring it up here. PJ Walker, who did not have a good day today.
No.
Scuffling. Like, I don't know if we're gonna have a backup quarterback competition at some point. Probably not, but maybe. I would say that's at least a chance. But at any rate, he threw one low and in front of Velus. He had no chance to catch it. There was a lot of defenders there. Velus could have laid out and put himself in harm's way in training camp and might have put his helmet into a defender's knee. He didn't do that, so he let up, and then the defense went at him, and a lot of them. It was maybe 10, and he had enough, and so then he started pushing people. And then the offense came running over, and then more people were pushing people, and then it quickly diffused. Yep. So that was our first skirmish of training camp. I don't know you rate.
Besides you and Braggs getting at it the other day,
Kari Blazingame got into it on Saturday's practice too, correct?
Yeah, I think the last time we practiced.
Yeah, that was a little. Both were little skirmishes, though. We haven't had Kyle Long versus Akeem Hicks quite yet.
This was more of a group situation. Yeah. Velus is a very chill, relaxed guy who was liked, at least from what I can tell, by everyone. So it was interesting that it was him that kind of.
Well, anytime you get called soft, especially in football,
that's what they were saying.
Yeah, you're
pulling up. They were calling them, and it wasn't. At that point, they were talking to all the wide receivers, I think, about that. So, and again, what I didn't like was just that there wasn't much of a response and
pushback,
and it was just so quiet over there. So look, I am not worried about the offense. I've been saying it for days. I feel like mostly this offense has been trending in the right direction. Today was a clear victory for the defense, and now I can't wait to see what it's like this weekend. Can the offense respond? Can they have a good day? And that's what you want to see in camp. You want to see competitive practices that in the big picture they kind of even out. And on the flip side of all this, which we can get to our good and bad here in a second from the day, there's a lot of good from the defense. The last thing I want to say about, though, the Darnell Mooney thing, just so everyone understands how this works, but we're in there trying to live tweet quotes. People want to see them because not everybody can watch the press conferences live. And sometimes the full quotes do not get put in a tweet because they're too long. It's like basically transcribing in real time. And every once in a while, the full context of a quote does not end up in there. And if that's how it was read and received, we apologize for that. I agree that this was definitely a situation where the full context of a quote should have been in there to really make it clear that nobody was throwing anybody under the bus. So anyway, that has been fixed at CHGO Bears. Thank you for those of us that those of you that follow us there, and please do at CHGO_Bears.
And I did the tweet. I'm doing it live. I don't have the benefit of it playing in my head, so I only have so much capacity in my brain to put together what's being said. And the fact of the matter is that he did, ask for more from Justin, period. And he doubled back on, he said, and he does. And then and after that, as we just played it, he again is like, he's encouraging him. We want more juice from the quarterback because he is the leader. And that's totally fine for him to say.
Right. And you combine that with the fact that you said Getsy had to get in their ass at one point in camp or during practice to say the energy wasn't there. It was apparent to everybody watching, including in the stands.
So, and they do have a lot of guys who are pretty mellow. Mooney is a mellow guy. DJ Moore is not, I wouldn't call him a vocal leader. The one vocal leader that they have as far as that room is Chase Claypool, and he's more closer to the over the top where they're trying to dial him back.
Someone's got to reel him
So
back.
Well, that's why I was going to say I wouldn't call him a vocal leader. I would call him vocal.
Right.
He's vocal, yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. Better said. The one vocal guy they have. So whereas the defense has a vocal leader in Tremaine, who's also very grounded.
Eddie Jackson too.
All of these
they
guys.
have a lot of
these
dudes.
guys.
They have a lot of dudes. That are
The
vocal
the
leaders.
offense doesn't necessarily have that. Doesn't have
Maybe
that.
that's a good thing. I mean, offensively, like defensively, you want to be ferocious and just a crazy person, right? But offensively, I feel like you need to have a little more balance.
Let's address the super chat here from Kevin O'Reilly, $4.99. Think Monty's presence attitude is part of what's missing when it comes to the offensive lack of chirping. No, because Montgomery wasn't necessarily a fiery, yelly guy either.
He did it through his play, like he would run people over, but I don't know if he was like the vocal guy that's kind of lacking right now.
I also don't think this has been a problem. I think it was just a problem today because they were getting their ass kicked. And they weren't happy about it. And it was hot. And it was the longest practice that they've had. It went 2 hours and 20 minutes. And Carm kept talking shit on the sideline. And they could hear that, and they were getting upset about it.
Well, and like yesterday, Komet jumped on Chase Claypool after the Claypool touchdown. They were all getting into it offensively, excited when, the rookie wide receiver, Tyler Scott, blew down the field. Yep. Everybody went crazy. So the energy was there yesterday because of the success they were having.
Today, I think if we want to go glass half full, which I know most people who watch this podcast want us to do, and I think it is actually a glass half full thing, what's being brought out right now. The fact that there is a little contentious or push within the offense for more leadership, more vocalness, and more and Fields, to me, grabbed that immediately after practice, the way he stepped up to the podium. So I think today, overall, could be a huge win for the offense. I don't know why I'm getting texts from that say, I'll read it. It's Jews equal cool.
I just looked down at his phone, and that was the most.
These are some of our softball ringers. You shouldn't be looking at that.
That was very. I didn't mean to. You left your messages open, and I was like, "That's a random text to see out of the corner of my eye."
They're just having some fun in there.
All right.
God bless them.
Well, here, I want to get to a few more super chats here in a minute, but very quickly, let's get to our best and worst of the day because it's on this topic of, okay, if you want to go glass half full on this. Well, the worst, I've already said it. I did not like the offense's response to the defensive swagger and all that chirping. I freaking love, though, their response in the press conferences. Good to hear. What I did like on the practice field that I thought was clearly the best thing, Kyler Gordon, Spider-Man, whatever we want to call him with the spidey senses, he was tearing up and dominating team drills today. He had one period where he had an interception. Yes, it was on Fields. He had a TFL.
On Treston Ebner? Yep.
On Treston Ebner, where he just a great run fit, hit him in the backfield, didn't even hit him that hard. Like, he actually pulled up and still put him on the ground.
It was impressive.
And he pulled up because they're not supposed to be tackling, but he tried not to. But in a game, he, I don't know, may have killed him. And then
The
sack right after that, where he's rushing, which is another great thing you can do with a nickel corner. And he just beat the hell out of Robert Tonyan and sacked Justin Fields. So, yeah, none of that sounds good for the offense. But on the other hand, Kyler Gordon is having a great training camp. He looks really good at that nickel corner spot, and he's one of many pieces in the secondary that I think is extremely underrated right now, because any ranking you see of the Bears secondary, at how they rank against the rest of the league, it's like 20th or 25th or even worse in some cases. I think people are sleeping on the secondary, and it's really up to guys like Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker who are going to be the reasons why, maybe 5 or 6 weeks into the season, everyone's like, whoa, what do they got? What do they got going on in Chicago with those DBs?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Kyler Gordon and how he's playing and how they're utilizing him in that nickel slot. He's really just capitalizing on that opportunity. My best from today, you guys, was Chase Claypool, and he absolutely cracked TJ Edwards on a run play to Khalil Herbert. And then he gets up and flexes and says, go to sleep. And that's the energy that Chase Claypool brings. And he's flexing. Edwards and him kind of got into it a little bit. But Chase Claypool, he does bring that energy. He is very vocal. So I really like to see the physicality from Chase Claypool. My worst, though, from today was just PJ Walker's performance and just really the entire practice, especially there was a 2-minute drill towards the end of practice where, look, the offense, the first team offense against the second team defense stalls and gets a field goal. But the second team offense had a chance to go up against the first team defense. And PJ Walker has Velus Jones Jr. for a deep ball. But the ball it's late, and Tyreek Stevenson's able to come back and, bat the ball down. But PJ Walker, he's been a little inaccurate. It just hasn't looked really well from a guy that I think had, you had good expectations for a backup quarterback. You felt good about that position. Right now, he did not have a good practice back-to-back days, so I want to see him rebound, but that's my worst from today.
Yeah, I definitely think my best has got to be I was hanging out with buddy Eric Creemans. Shout out to CHGO Cram.
I saw that guy today. He introduced himself.
The incognito CHGO Cram.
Where did you see
Twitter.
him?
He'll be here Friday. He wants to meet you, Mark.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Really good dude.
Everybody met Cram except for me. That's messed up. Keep going.
Really good dude. He's actually hooked us up with some Cubs tickets too this year. Got to finally meet him in person and his 2 sons. Good group there. But they were hanging out later after practice, and I was hanging out with them, and Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker, my best is that they were the last 2 on the practice field by a landslide. After all the security and all the coaches and all the players were gone, they were literally the only 2 people standing on grass as I was walking out of there. So they didn't just take their great performance today for granted. They continued to put the work in after practice, and that shows me how much they are ready to take the next step in their leadership. My worst has got to be Cody Whitehair. Bad snap. This was his problem when he was the center a few years ago, and now, we saw a bad snap from Lucas Patrick the other day, and now we see one with Cody Whitehair. I don't know how many times we're going to see it in the season, but it can't be in crucial moments. And if you do, you hope Justin Fields can bail him out like he did with the Lucas Patrick snap the other day and just gather it and throw it out of bounds. But, this is a concern, with the centers trying to figure this out, and it's going to be Cody Whitehair at center. And he's always had an issue with this. And how much of an issue is it going to be is the question.
Keep an eye on Doug Kramer in preseason games here and how he does, because I think he's a very interesting name, because Cody's not going to be playing center forever. And yes, Kramer's undersized, but I did see the snap that you're talking about, Braggs, and I'm just hearing some interesting things about Kramer as a potential option there eventually, not immediately. My best, we already talked about it, which was Fields at the presser today. That just put a huge smile on my face. But side note best is Greg Braggs taking a picture with Ryan Poles. That was flat out adorable. And who was your other picture today?
I took one with
Tremaine
Edmonds.
I love that too. Tremaine Edmonds, by the way, he's got when you listen to him, and he sounds a little bit like Snoop Dogg. Have you guys noticed that at all?
Wait, didn't
Somebody
we get
said
that in
this
the
on
chat?
the show.
Yeah, we got that in the chat.
The other day. It was a super chat last week.
He legit, he's got it going on. Plus, then he's got, the hair, Tremaine's got some long hair flowing. So there's, that was just kind of I'm like, looking at him like, you got a little bit of Snoop situation going on here. Yes, Hoge?
Did you get through your
My worst is the injuries.
piling up? Teven, not
Yeah,
I know we're getting some heat, but the last couple days we're doing this knock on wood routine. I am officially eliminating the knock on wood routine. It's done. You said yesterday it didn't matter. Stop talking about it.
It doesn't matter. It's football, and they play tackle football, and they wear pads, and they get hurt because that's what happens in football.
We listened to Teven talk yesterday, and he basically underlined that this back issue is going to be something that he's going to have to deal with for his entire career. Then he's not on the field today. That's an ouch. And Jack Sanborn got hurt yesterday, has been coming back, and he was nowhere to be found today. He was not on the sidelines. He wasn't anywhere. So
Yeah, not great.
that's not good.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, quickly, I want to give a shout out to Zach Pearson, our guy at Bear Report.
Yep.
Because there was a giant ass plane that flew over practice today that was like actually kind of freaky.
Yeah, I was wondering why
It was
that
like
low.
a big 4-engine plane that
747.
did a low pass. And I don't know about you guys. I was like, what the hell? Like, it was weird.
We got a
I'm like,
flyover to start the season.
I thought for sure it was Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst and Jordan Love just checking out Bears practice.
what did Zach do?
Zach Pearson gave us an answer. Apparently, they just flew over Hallis Hall again while Waddle and Sylvie were broadcasting live. It's some sort of NASA plane for emissions. Measuring emissions.
What the
So
hell?
that's super interesting because I was standing next to Chris Emma when it must have been a different plane flew over, and I think Jason McKee, maybe that's not right. Somebody said, "I wonder where that plane is headed," and apparently there is an app that Emma has where if you point it at
Flight Aware.
anything that's like right up, it's right above you. Well, that one, and he's like, it's going to Toledo, Ohio.
the hell? How
So,
do you know that?
so Emma busted that it was going to Toledo. This probably was two different planes, but I didn't know this app existed.
Well,
I was
did he
learning
mean
things.
Dayton?
Yeah, Dayton.
Yeah, it took off from Dayton. It's going back to Dayton, but it's flying over. Look at the flight plan right here. It's going back and forth over
I
the
have
Chicago
no
area.
idea what that is that you're looking at, but that's amazing that you understand that. Congratulations.
Yeah, Flight Aware. That's what us playing geeks. I was gonna check it in the moment, but I was too busy watching charting
Yeah.
bad offensive plays. All right, so I just want that freaked me out. I'm glad we have some type of
very low.
explanation on that. All right. Quickly, I'm going to tell you guys about Hooters. Then we're going to get to some of these super chats. But Hooters is your spot to catch all the games this season. Step up to the plate for Hooters' world-famous wings. Delicious seafood, stacked sandwiches, salads, and more. Tons of great beer specials and $6 drinks all day, every day. Check out Hooters Seafood Specials. $19.83 for a pound of crab legs. And great prices on buffalo and steamed shrimp. Why 1983? Well, they're celebrating their 40 years in business all year long in honor of the anniversary on the 4th of every month. Oh, that's in 2 days. Hooters will be hosting throwback events, bringing the 80s back with 83-cent wings and other great specials. That means the next one is on August 4th, coming up in 2 days. Check them out. Hooters and their 40th anniversary.
Sunnyside's your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kind of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. If you're having trouble with Bears Twitter and you need some relief, I would go to Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer and your Bears training camp experience. They've got the Mindy's, which is the best-tasting gummy and chocolate edibles, created by James Beard's award-winning chef, Mindy Siegel. Then there's the Good News, which is gummies and a rechargeable vape pen, the Cresco, which is reliably excellent cannabis, which is excellent to use when you're hanging out with Greg Braggs on the golf course if you need to, chill out a little bit. All the stuff is there for you through August, all month here. What you want to do is go to sunnyside.shop, and use the code CHGO25, and check out for 25% off your total order. That's one use per customer, so make it stick, make it work with your one use. Not stackable with other promotions. That's not only for new customers. Anyone can use the code. Pick up everything you need to elevate your summer. So if you've been there before, you can go in now, CHGO25, get 25% off. You do have to be 21 or over or an Illinois Med card holder.
All right, super chats are stacking up. Lawrence back producing with us today.
Thank God.
Fire away.
That
Although
first audio.
Swift Sports wants to know if we can get Braggs in a Hooters uniform.
Come on, Swifty. What are we doing here?
Obviously, the answer is yes.
Oh,
What about a Muscle Beach, tank top?
There you go.
Swifty.
How much are you down, Braggs?
We ain't worried about how much I'm down.
Well, the last week at camp has not been great.
It hasn't been. I've had to fall off the wagon because I'm just too damn busy. And then today I stopped by the taco truck and I had a burrito,
I've been
which
wanting to
was
stop
the
there.
worst decision of my life
Football.
because it was delicious.
Football season brags is coming back with a
Way
vengeance.
too early for a burrito.
What kind of burrito did you get?
Pork. I told him whatever's your best, that's what I
Do
want.
it.
So he got me a pork burrito, and it was amazing, but way too filling.
Food
So,
coma.
yeah.
Food coma.
But hey, Swifty with the Hooters comments. Come on, what are we doing here?
Lugo, $4.99 super chat. By far my favorite podcast. Thank you for the level of detail and preparation you all put into the show every day. Bear down, baby. Thank you, Lugo. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Lugo.
you guys being here with us every day. With that in mind, by the way, we are going to we'll be off tomorrow because the Bears don't practice tomorrow, but we are going to have you covered all week long with shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got another show here later tonight, Bears After Dark. I'll be on with Windy City Gridiron's historian, Jack Silverstein, one of the best Chicago sports historians out there. We're going to be talking about who should be in the Hall of Fame for the Chicago Bears that got left out this year. Devin freaking Hester. And, of course, Steve Mongo McMichael, who's getting on the finalist list. So tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Central.
MD Bear Down $9.99 super chat. This is the first super chat I've sent in. Well, thank you for doing it. Between OTAs and training camp, have you guys seen Justin call audibles or make checks at the line of scrimmage to get into a better play against the defense?
I don't know if I've noticed that
I
necessarily.
haven't noticed that either.
I think the answer is no, and they're not doing that right now. They have a set call sheet, which is what Fields talked about today, that they are running, which is why it does give the defense an advantage because the defense pretty much has a pretty good idea of what they're going to do.
The only thing, though, that Mooney said, I just want to be clear on that. I think they did have a set play sheet today, but I don't think it was necessarily scripted in order because he made a comment that they were doing call-it plays, which means they don't necessarily know the order that the plays are coming in. It's based probably – it's more so on the offense coordinator looking at down and distance and situationally what's the best call. And so it really tested the players to be on – because a lot of times they'll – in the meetings, this is what we're doing today, walk through. Now we're going to walk through it. Now you go out there in the practice field. These are the exact plays. And that's not how it is in a game. In a game, it's all situationally.
Game
You don't know
planned,
what's
yeah.
coming and when. And I think that's also, and Mooney offered all this up today, I think, to help explain the lack of energy because it was like, it almost was like everybody was on their heels because it was the first day where they're really like, we don't know what's coming. We got to be locked in. We got to know what's coming. And then meanwhile, the defense was just running free and making plays.
Yeah, and even Fields said this too. He said,
I meant to say Fields, not Mooney, if I said Mooney.
yeah, and he says, like, we've got a big list of plays. We're doing NASCAR. We're doing a bunch of different stuff. And it can be stressful, even on the wide receivers, because they're going in motion. Sometimes they're the Z, X, F in the slot. So he said mentally it's very challenging during training camp because, like Adam just said, they're not game playing against their own defense. In a regular game week, that's exactly what they'd be doing, game planning for that defense, having specific plays, formation, things like that. That's not necessarily what they're trying to accomplish in training camp. They have a big list of things that they're working on, and the defense had a leg up on the offense for sure once what they were running.
We don't need to audible. Every play is going to work.
It's a good attitude. I like it. Joe, 199. Is it possible that the defense will be good? I mean, that's the other side of this. Look,
They have playmakers, man. They have some playmakers.
I will. Let me say this, Joe. The one thing I am most confused about 7 practices in, and going back to OTAs, is I can't figure out if the Bears have a better pass rush than we thought, or if they're in trouble on the offensive line.
Right.
And I hope it's not the second one.
Right.
But there has been a lot of pressure, I feel like, on Fields.
Yep.
And I'm just like, is this D-line better than we thought? I hope it's a result of all the depth that they've added on the interior of the line and maybe some of these pickups that they picked up just being better than maybe we thought. But it's been more than I thought, and I can't figure out if I'm worried about it or just like, oh, maybe the defensive line is better than we think.
Guys, Braxton Jones talked yesterday and talked about his hand placement and how it needed to be better. There were a couple reps today where it wasn't better. And it's going to, I don't know how long you have to wait until you start to worry about that, but he said he worked on it all offseason.
I know.
And it's still in the place that it is right now. So, look, Braxton Jones is our guy. He came on the CHGO Bears podcast earlier this year.
He doesn't shy from the criticism.
No, and he doesn't shy from it. He brought it up himself. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how he can get that better. But, yeah, there's been pressure on Fields this training camp.
Terrell Lewis has beaten
Yes, he has.
Darnell Wright regularly. I almost at this point can say. It's not just a few times. He beat him again today.
He did.
And it's like, to your point, because it's kind of back and forth, offense, defense. But does it just mean that they're competitively average or competitive? They're not competitively great. That both sides of the ball, they're not great. They don't have like these superstars in the trenches. So, because at this point, like early on, I think DeMarcus Walker was in the lead for who was the best pass rusher so far. But would you say Terrell Lewis is starting to make that climb as so far the best pass rusher out there? And what does that mean? Because Terrell Lewis is, kind of a, veteran that's moved around the league. He's had injury issues. He has talent. He's out of Alabama, but that he's your best pass rusher right now? What is that? Is that good or bad?
Probably not good.
I mean, to answer the question here from Joe Calcagno, thank you again for just teeing up this topic there, Joe. Is it possible that defense will be good? I think it is possible. And there is a lot of talk. Tremaine Edmonds today, I don't know if you guys got to hear it because he was way late and you guys were over here. It was about 5 minutes of Edmonds, but he was like, we got a lot of big dudes because Edmonds is talking about being a big guy in the middle of the field that's causing havoc, and he's naming that Jaquan Brisker is a big safety. Jervon Dexter is a big dude up front. They
got length.
Yeah,
too. Look at it, especially up the middle. You look at Dexter to Edmonds to pick your safety. Brisker and Eddie Jackson both have really long arms. It's especially in the middle field. I mean, and to flip it to back to the offense for a second, I am hopeful that this is really going to help Justin Fields because I can't imagine. We already know he's not going to face a linebacker in the middle of the field that's as big and as long as Tremaine Edmonds. No. But up and down from the middle back, there's length all over. So you talk about windows being tight. To be able to practice against this right now, I think is going to be very, very beneficial once they get to the regular season because the windows theoretically should be bigger. You got your shirt figured out? I feel like
everyone's taunted the shirt
because it has zippers.
What's wrong with that?
It's weird.
Okay, keep going.
to the other.
If you unzip those, can we see your nipples? What's going on?
There's no nipples on
like
this.
a Janet Jackson
shirt,
thing.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Listen, I'll go back to wearing CHGO on Friday. Hashtag off day tomorrow.
Yeah. So the other
hashtag no days off.
What we do know about the defense that I think we can say with conviction is that obviously the linebacker core is great. They have great linebackers and good depth. Tremaine Edmonds is great. I do believe that. He looks great out there.
Okay.
TJ Edwards has looked very good to great. He has.
Carm appears to disagree.
Well, I don't care if he disagrees because I'm going to go on my run here.
Carm, you have 30 seconds. Go.
I think that Greg is getting it a little bit out in front of him. So obviously the linebacking core is great. The linebacking core has not played a game together. The linebacking, we cannot say that. Tremaine Edmonds got paid like a great linebacker, and he's a very good linebacker, but we don't know that. I don't know what's being said in the chat that you guys are laughing about. TJ Edwards, who was awesome to have on the show, you just elevated him to great. He was
one of the best coverage linebackers in football last year on the best defense in football last year.
Yeah, and
Tremaine Edmonds was a leader on one of the better defenses in football last year.
Okay. All right.
We know they haven't played a game together yet.
Listen.
Jack Sanborn's your freaking idol.
I understand. I just want. When you say we know, I don't know why I want to push back.
I do feel
confidence.
Okay,
that's different. That's different. We'll fist up on
We'll
that.
meet in the middle.
We'll meet in the middle.
I have confidence in saying
fine.
that.
Done. Great.
And then the other aspect is the
Super
second.
Bowl.
The other aspect of this is the secondary. Last year, I thought was the second biggest bright spot behind Justin Fields, and now you've added Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith to that defense. So, and like you said, there's tight windows that Justin's having to throw to. You see Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, and Kyler Gordon running around, making plays. Jalen Johnson had an interception in one-on-ones today on Tyler Scott. They have a very solid secondary.
The back seven is the strength of this team.
Right.
I think that is
because Tremaine Edmonds is the best linebacker that ever existed.
Sure. Great. Let's go all the way there. Hall of Fame.
Better than Urlacher.
Better than Urlacher. Better than Butkus. Better than Singletary. Better than the most underrated Bears linebacker of all time. When he left the Bears, we lost him. Wilbur Marshall. They never won a Super Bowl. And there he is. Tremaine Edmonds with Greg Braggs. No wonder we're talking about how great all the linebackers are today.
Brick by brick, Tremaine Edmonds embodies this spirit of brick by brick, and I appreciate that about Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big
fan too, baby. Let's go.
Aaron's suggesting that if the Bears make the playoffs, the whole crew wears nipple zippers.
Let's go. I don't know where I got this shirt. Shirt's probably 28 years old, but I'll find you another one. It's very soft. It absorbs well. It's hot out there. I've worn a CHGO shirt every single day for the last 13 days. I figured I'd put something else on. Go ahead, unzip it. It's good for you. There's pockets in here.
It's good for you.
You could put a couple coins in there and get on the L if it was 1968.
Way to randomly date yourself there at the end. Although I do remember tokens.
Tokens. That's right.
Was it ever actual coins or just the tokens?
You could still, I think,
I
put silver into it and open the thing up. I think
silver.
that would be like quarters and nickels and dimes. It's called the silver.
Like, I thought you needed I thought we were back in the 1800s and like literally some thing of silver you had to throw in. All right, Keys, $5 super chat. The harder the defense plays, the better our offense will respond. Hopefully this stays consistent. Iron sharpens iron. I am actually somewhat optimistic that is that might actually be what we're watching in this camp.
Iron sharpens
We're
iron.
going to find out for sure when they go to Indianapolis, right?
Zippers, shanks,
But I think
zippers.
I think we'll know even more by Sunday after these practices this weekend. If the offense bounces back, the one thing I'd look out too for this weekend is like a legit fight.
That'd be great
Yeah,
at Family Fest with all the families there. Some huge fight. Sign me up.
brawl. It's definitely leading up to that with all the chirping going on.
Hey, this team loves each other. They're so adorable, the Bears, right now. Come on.
Frank, the Bears fan, 199. This means the offense is coming for Blood Friday. That's what I'm saying.
And Fields, we know this. He has a terrible day. We'll see how he bounces back.
Fields has as great as practice as a Bear Friday.
That would be awesome.
Imagine that.
Talking smack to the defense, too. Love to see it.
And I'll just say it a million times quickly. I just do not feel this is a true representation of what this offense will be. You get very little from what the run game is going to be at training camp, and Justin Fields never takes off out of the pocket at training camp. Nope. So when they start week one, whatever we're seeing right now, in my opinion, is not even close to what this offense will represent come week one.
And to your optimism, Braggs, the fact that they were not good today and Fields got up there and was all smiles speaks to, at least in my mind, where he thinks this thing is going. Mm-hmm. So let's go.
Bears. All right, we got a couple more super chats to get to here in a moment, but first let's talk about Shady Rays.
Shady Rays.
I got some gifts for you guys today.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is sweet.
our fearless leader.
Jake Flanagan making
Let's
moves.
Oh, I thought it was whiskey.
No, it's not whiskey. It's
even better.
a bunch of Shady Rays.
Oh, this is amazing.
What?
Let's go.
So we got
What kind?
I forgot which
some
ones I got.
Cascade Emerald Smoke for Nick.
Emerald.
Open
Bringing
those
all
up,
the
put them
emerald
on.
smoke.
What?
Here, I better put mine on while I do
This is
this.
great.
I got Cascade Black Ocean Timber. Going timber.
It's really upsetting that they didn't bring a pair for Braggs.
I'll just take yours.
That's my bricklayer, baby.
Oh, these are dope.
We got
love
classic black timber for Mark Carman.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
There you go.
Shady. I love you, Shady.
This
And don't give these to Braggs. That's
Yeah.
a weird note.
Yeah.
That's Signature
a weird note.
Series Blackout Incognito. Yeah, you should wear incognito.
Yeah,
glasses.
it's almost impossible for me to stay
I like
incognito.
I think Nick wins.
This is gonna be our
Hogs is good, too. I like the
Yours
green.
are green too. Yeah, the green
We have
is
the same one. They had different.
Let's
No,
go.
mine are
Appreciate
gray,
you,
yours
Shady
are
Rays.
brown.
I
The
don't
green
know.
is a nice touch though on the lens. Really.
Well, for those listening that don't know what they look like, we'll just let you know that our friends at Shady Rays always have you covered for the warm weather, for training camp weather, for hot sun. These are premium polarized shades at an affordable price. They're an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Look at these things. Durable frames, extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, even indoor adventures. We do the show inside with our Shady Rays on. And that's not all, because Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. To demonstrate, Braggs is going to break his in half right now.
I will break Carm's in half. And then
Every pair of sunglasses
just
is
for demonstration purposes. I still love you, Carm.
They're backed by Lost and Broken. Look, it says right here, Lost and Broken coverage. We got you. Be confident anywhere. Right there on the label.
Let's go.
That's that's kind of Bragg's problem in life, though. He is just confident everywhere.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. There's no question about that.
It's unfortunate.
With the black on black, I am kind of looking like a Blues Brother here for sure.
You look very Chicago right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, if you lose or break your pair even on day one, they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. This is exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. So you get 2 of these, whichever ones you want. They got a ton more, too, on there. Check them out. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
You guys got to go check out Shady Rays and, of course, Lewis University, because many of the students are adults just like you. Many have full-time jobs and are families, and all of them chose Lewis's supportive and educational community to help make their transition back to school as easy as possible to earn a respected degree. 35 miles southwest of Chicago and Romeoville, ranked as one of U.S. News & World Report's top-tier colleges, Lewis partners with numerous employers for tuition discounts and offers evening, online, and blended formats to help you balance work, family, and education. And faculty bring real-world experience, you guys, and the instruction to the classroom, which is immediately relevant to your career. And they offer career support and academic resources for adult students. And whether you're looking to complete your bachelor's or master's degree or enroll in a professional certificate program, Lewis has the right program for you. Lewis offers several career-focused programs. They'll set you up for success. We're going to highlight one here. The computer science at 8-week sessions can be completed in 1 year. Concentration in software engineering, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, digital forensics, enterprise, and cloud computing. A bunch of stuff there. And, of course, you have the undergraduate degrees like business programs and technology programs. And here's the most important part, everybody. Discover how a degree from Lewis can help you build a better world. Learn more at lewisu.edu/ you can do this. One more time, that's lewisu.edu/ you can do this.
And our Bears training camp coverage, the CHGO Bears training camp coverage, is brought to you by the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. Learn more at comed.com/powering biz. Thank you for bringing that up for me, Hoge, even though I probably have it memorized. And behind the scenes here, Hoge just made it super big, so old man Carm, a.k.a. Cramps, could see that. Thank you.
Just to be safe, I'm looking out for you.
I appreciate it.
My eyes suck, too. So, hey, good to see Don Burr back in the chat. Rumor has it that he got banned from the Hogan Johns live chat the other day.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Our producer Kent over there, I don't think he knew or cared who Don was. It was just like, go away.
Bye-bye.
All your
Bye-bye,
lines,
Don.
Nonsense.
That's great.
So, anyway, he's back, so that's cool. All right, more super chats, I believe. Man, they're just coming
Appreciate all
in
you.
today.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any interest in hearing the exchange between Potash and Fields, or is it only me?
Well, I think that's one of the super chats.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So we'll get there for a second.
Okay.
The Bears Bastard $4.99. When are the coaches required to provide specifics regarding injury? The fan in me is getting antsy, not knowing what's going on with Davis and others. Technically, they're. And then the second one here, Wazir Shah $4.99. With the injuries to Teven and Nate Davis, I wonder if Dalton Reisner could be a depth offensive guard signing at the right price. Also, CHGO for life. We appreciate you. They're not required to really ever give specifics. They have to list them on an injury report once the regular season starts, and at that point they have to actually say what it is and how much they're practicing. But really, it's still not that much detail. It's ankle limited, ankle did not practice, whatever. I don't think we're going to get many answers from the coaching staff here during training camp. The good news is, I guess, that they said, Flu said the other day, if it's ever something that like a guy could be in doubt for the regular season, he's going to give us a little bit more information.
See,
I think they did do that with Lucas Patrick last year with his hand injury? I think they did come out pretty quickly and say that that's.
But didn't it have to get brought up though? We were just talking about this.
That
didn't
was
we?
the surgery later in the year.
Okay, that's what
where
that
it was like
yeah.
he's actually not coming back.
like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah. But I think in camp, like, because he hurt that hand like the second day, and I think it was.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess if you're looking for any optimism with Nate Davis and Jack Sanborn, who we didn't see out there at all today, that they're still in the category of it's not supposed to be a big deal.
Possibility to return. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope you're right, but also Flus did not talk today, and Getsy's not going to report injuries, so I think we'll get a better idea that we're in the clear on Friday. I saw in the chat earlier, people are wondering with Teven out who's stepping in. Alex Leatherwood's getting that shot right now at left guard.
We saw that on Saturday too, where he was getting reps at left guard.
So, first round draft pick, hasn't found a home, but Getsy underlined that he's played every position on the line as a Bear with the exception of center. So they're leaning into the talent of Alex Leatherwood there, which I'm actually interested to see if Teven
You know what?
can't be there.
It was actually yesterday in pads where they had Leatherwood get left guard reps. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So, and today.
Well, and the thing I would say with the Teven Jenkins injury report, okay, if it's serious, they'll report. But I also feel like just with his particular situation, I know the Bears aren't worried about narratives, but it would help him if it wasn't something serious, that they would just say so. Because he's had such concern between media and fan base as far as reaction to that. If it's something not that serious, just say so to save Teven Jenkins the constant speculation.
Well, and and I think that kind of hurt him last year when they weren't as transparent. Remember when he was just sort of lying in the weeds? And then to his credit, Ryan Poles admitted when he came on Hogan Johns late in training camp, he basically said like, yeah, I probably could have been more transparent, specifically to Teven about what was going on. So, I agree. We'll have to see. Getsy today, Flus didn't talk today, and Getsy seemed to legitimately not have any idea at that point. He's the offensive coordinator. It was funny when Teven walked off. It shows you how like coaches really truly are coaches in the moment. Like I was watching Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach, and it wasn't like he was like scrambling to be like, "Oh, we got to adjust." It was like, "Okay, next guy,
right?
Keep going off the call sheet. Let's keep practice keeps going on without you."
They got to operate that way. Never know when someone's going to go down within a game, and you just next man up mentality. So that's how they approach it.
Well, and that's the other point is we all hope for the best with Teven Jenkins, but the reality is the chances of him being able to make it through a whole season is slim. I mean, at this point, he hasn't proven he can, and he's had injuries before, and he's a big dude, and it's just likely to happen again. So to the point of should they bring in, a Reisner or whoever, yeah, they need to keep rolling this roster over. They brought in a defensive lineman yesterday, and they need to keep using that waiver order to their advantage and bring in offensive line, specifically in the interior depth, because you have two interchangeable centers with Whitehair and Lucas Patrick, albeit they got to figure out being a little better snapping the ball, but bring in some guards because when Teven gets hurt, then, there's less shuffling of the deck.
All right, let's fire through some more super chats because I know we got a ton of them here. Chris Peguero, this is non-Bears related, $4.99 super chat, but he says, I was watching CHGO Cubs. They fired some shots at you guys, specifically Carman Bragg.
You got issue, CHGO Cubs? Because I'm coming in studio tonight to produce your show, and I'll shut that down real quick.
Just end the stream.
and I'll have Braggs do whatever the rest needs to be done on my half. So thank you, Greg.
Yeah. We're trying to win
Cody.
games. Why don't you guys focus over there, CHGO Cubs? We're trying to beat the Reds tonight.
Quit acting like you're going to do
worry
it.
about us over here.
You must be out of your mind coming at me and Braggs.
Just remember, the Bears are the Bears because they are bigger, stronger.
Yeah, you're just the little Cubs.
Than Cubs. That's
I'm
why
a
they
Cub
were
fan, but
named the Bears.
don't make me choose.
I love that show, by the way, and I know that Luke Stuckmeyer would never say anything sarcastic about me ever.
Never.
So
Well, I'm guessing it wasn't Luke.
I'm guessing it was.
I'd be very shocked. You think it was Luke?
I'm good. Yes.
Promise. It was Luke. And I'm going to get him tonight.
That's a threat.
It's a good reason to watch CHGO Cubs tonight, I guess. Mark Gauthier, $1.99. Bring the Kirk Cousins fire.
That's what we're talking about energy-wise, man. That's,
yeah, okay.
Yep. The goat's looking.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah. Let's go, Fields. You like that?
The Kirk Cousins fire seems so manufactured.
Good guy. He's a really good guy.
Yeah,
though.
he's
He's a good guy.
that's fine. All right, Praven.
Yep.
We're gonna roll with that, buddy. Appreciate you. Not even gonna attempt to say your last name.
It's a Balak Rishnan.
Balak Rishnan. You
Oh,
nailed
good,
it.
yeah.
Raven Balak Rishnan.
You know what? You can read the super.
$10 super
Great
chat.
job by you. I appreciate that.
I'm-
It's all yours.
Praven, I hope I got that right. $10. Thank you, Hoge. Looks like today's camp was the most chippy, especially from the D. How's Justin dealing with that? Is he allowing all the talk to get to him to do more mistakes? Thanks for all the work, CHGO team. I think he enjoyed the chippiness actually today. I think it gave him extra juice, certainly on the back end walking out of there, and he was already talking about being fired up for Friday. We've covered this one.
Yeah.
So thanks, Praven.
I just want to see how they respond on Friday. Really. No Palencia, $4.99. Colin Coward calling Fields a YouTube QB.
You did say that.
What does that mean?
Means he's just
Flashy
a
highlights.
highlight reel, but not actually good. Just good for highlights.
Okay. Well, I like highlights.
Highlights are usually good.
The more highlights you have, the better.
Bears have
you
had
know.
plenty of QBs that don't even give you highlights.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people.
We got a YouTube quarterback. No, Colin Coward can stick it. You know, that's what I got to say about it. He's just trying to, get a rise out of Bears fans, which is easily done. And he's planting his flag against Justin Fields. That's fine.
He's had a
Justin
bad
Fields.
career. I would never want to have his career. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
He can stick it.
Yeah.
$20 million a year.
Yeah.
Owns his own podcast network.
He can stick it.
ESPN's back bidding on him again.
Yeah. Sell
saw
out.
that.
Oh my God, he changed his opinion. How could he do that? You're not allowed to do that in this world. Colin, I got your back on the show, buddy.
I don't. He can stick it.
Guy's so good at his gig.
Logan, $5. Over 800 people watching. Everyone should hit the like button. These guys put in a lot of hours for us. Hit it. Thank you, Logan.
Appreciate it, Logan.
Appreciate it,
Let's
Logan.
get those likes up. Let's
There is-
go.
There is one thing I will never understand. I think every YouTube video I ever watch, I always just hit the like button. Like, I don't even think about it.
Nick just hit the like button for the first time today.
Hit the like button.
Not
for
to call out Nick.
Hit the like button.
But
for
he did
nipples.
it.
I did it. I
Nipple
did
But
it.
he did it.
See, Adam
Yeah.
talked about it. I did it. It's so simple. It's like instantaneous.
Hit
You
the
can
like
just-
button for nipple zippers.
If we get to 800 likes on this show, Carm will actually wear real nipple zippers.
Get to 1,000. I'll take the shirt off and do the rest of it.
Oh, there's the incentive right there.
There we go. You
I mean,
gotta-
that honestly, you should just do that as your form of punishment. Because I was saying back to we should throw eggs at you, but for your form of punishment, you could finish the show without your shirt on.
Punishment for what?
for what do I have to say it? I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, no, I want you to say it. Go ahead.
for the tweet that we had. I'm sorry that you asked for it. I wasn't going to completely throw you.
I
under the
already
bus,
said I
but
tweeted
now-
it, and I stick by it. And Bears fans, we don't need to be this sensitive. Nobody. I mean, people should literally. If you just saw a CHGO tweet for the first time, maybe you think we're trying to like go at the players. But if you watch us literally for 5 seconds, you know how much we put into this and how much we support the team. So come on, man. There's nothing but good intention here. I thought we had earned that benefit of the doubt, but I get it. We are new, so maybe we haven't. But Darnell Mooney is asking for more juice and more and even more from the quarterback, and that's completely cool. And those two are great friends.
All right, I like this question here. Chris, $5 super chat. Dream guests on CHGO. One Bear player, one non-Bear player, one coach, one media member.
Wow.
I
want The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock would be dope.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson for the non-Bear player.
Media member would be Rich Eisen, who promised to come on the show and has never responded to any of our messages.
Rich is busy, and maybe I just have made too much of a weird thing about the shower situation.
Yes.
So that
Another thing Carm screwed up.
Rich, come on the
That was
show. I
funny,
watch
though.
you in the
That was
shower.
hilarious.
I'm sure you
I
just
told
scaled over that email.
Rich that I was listening to him in the shower, and he made a great point, and he was weirded out that I was listening to him in the shower, and forever. But I thought he was joking. So whenever I've reached out to him to come on the show, I've said it's shower guy, and maybe that's the reason.
Maybe
why
he's
he hasn't
filing
come
a
on.
restraining
shower
order.
guy.
But how else would he remember me?
That is true.
And I thought we were boys.
Yeah.
Eisen does a great job. He's coming on this show.
He'll come on the show.
Maybe he's in
We can clip this. I'd love
And
to
then,
send
of
it to
course,
him.
the one Bear player is Devin Hester. And if we ever had him in studio, I would just cry the whole time and tell him how much I love him. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. And we're going to talk about that tonight with Jack Silverstein while I cry about that.
I mean, the current Bear player would have to be Fields, right?
It would definitely have to be Fields.
Yeah, Fields.
We'll see what we can do about that. Zachary Hilborn, 199. How did you guys like Mark Potash's question today? First of all, I like every Potsy question.
Me too.
I just want that on record.
He's a legend.
And that was a little of an interesting back and forth today.
What was it? Because I didn't get to hear it.
Well,
Go ahead, Adam.
I mean, the general premise was like, okay, the defense having a great day will make the offense better. And then Potsy asks, basically for specifics, how does that make you better? And then there was a little bit of back and forth because there was some confusing, but I don't know.
Listen, he's basically saying, like, how do we know that the defense being good is not actually means that the offense is bad?
Yeah.
That's what he was getting at. How do you know that it's actually the defense is being good or versus like you guys are just not anywhere close to where you want to be? And Fields didn't understand the question, and he kept on.
Yeah. But can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but it actually led to a very interesting answer.
It really did.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is why
and I want to highlight some of what he said because this is a completely fair point from Justin Fields. He said right now it's harder for the offense to hone in on certain plays. We don't have this audio, do we?
we do.
We do have this
We have the whole
audio.
exchange if we want to play it.
You want to hear
This?
it?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I didn't
It's a
realize we
long
had-
exchange though. It's 2+ minutes, but I think it's worth playing because
Yeah.
it just shows how much Fields cares to give a good answer, and then he gives you a very interesting assessment of what exactly is going on at training camp. I loved it.
Here it is.
In a practice situation, how do you know or how will you know that this defense is making you better?
Said, how do I know?
Yeah. How do you know that's happening, and how in the future as you respond to like what they did? How will you know? What are you looking for, or just how do you know that?
I mean, I know because our offense is just not doing what we need to do to drive the ball. I mean, it was tough out there today. Defense did their thing. I feel like the first 3 days we got them, but I mean they definitely bounced back. Today, and I think yesterday was all right with us. But I mean, how I know they're going to be good is just going against them.
How do you know that that's going to make your offense better? The defensive resistance you're getting.
How do I know that that's going to make our
How will your defense make you and your?
I mean,
offense?
yeah, if we're just driving down the field on them every drive, then I mean it's easy. But if we're not, then of course that's going to get us better. I don't know if you're getting what I don't know if did I answer your question or not? I don't know.
Well, sometimes when a defense is good, when a defense wins the day, it's because the offense isn't good. Frankly, I want to know how does the defense winning the day make your offense better?
How does defense winning the day? I mean, the defense is challenging us, so it's like boom. We see they're a great defense out there. They're doing their thing out there. They're mixing up coverages. Our receivers are seeing different coverages. So boom. We're not game planning for our defense right now. We have a bunch of set plays that we're running on our defense, and that boom, we're just trying. Like right now, it's harder for the offense to really hone in on certain plays because in a game week we have an actual game plan that we're running a set of plays. So guys probably aren't going to have as many mistakes in the game because we have a set game plan. We have a call sheet to where boom, all right, we know this formation. We got these set of plays, but training camp, it's like we got a big list of plays. We're doing NASCAR, we're doing a bunch of stuff. So, guys, it's definitely very stressful mentally on, different receivers and stuff like that. Guys are moving down to different spots. There's Z, X, F in the slot. So it's very mentally challenging. But, I mean, I just know that it's going to help us get better because we didn't just, drive the field on our defense. That doesn't happen. I mean, I feel like just this work that we got today, it was good. So it's back and forth. Like I said, one day the offense has a good day, the defense has a good day today, and yeah, there was some things today where we can control, we can hit a wide open guy, or we can make a catch, we can make a contested catch. So it's constantly getting each other better, constantly going at it in practice each and every day.
I think that's a great answer. I understand where Potsy was coming from with the question. It's not the easiest thing to explain or answer, but because we've seen this, we've gone through so many years of this. It's like defense dominates, well, then the offense sucks. Offense is good, well, then the defense sucks. And it's like you want it to be back and forth. I really do think it has been back and forth. And what I wanted to bring up there, and I'm glad we played the audio because what Fields is talking about there is very, very important. When you're in training camp, you're trying to cover everything. in a short amount of time, in like a few weeks. You're trying to hit on everything so that at some point in the season, when it comes up in your game plan for that week, it's not brand new. You might have to refresh it. You might have to rep it a bunch that week, but at least it's not a brand new install. And right now, that's what's different about if your playbook is 1,000 pages, which hopefully it's not. I think that's what it was in the Nagy era. But let's just say you have a list of 100 plays. Well, you might go, or 200 plays. You might go into a game week with 40 or 50, right? And then that week you can hone in on, like when you go home at night and you're like, I got to know this, and this for Sunday. It's not this expansive thing. Then so many things are getting thrown at you. Now, it might sound like an excuse right now, but it's also the reality of training camp.
No, it's a good point. And I think, even sometimes just covering it, you look who had the better day, offense or defense. But we don't know exactly what the offense is working on that day. They have all these plays and they're trying to implement things, install stuff, and, defense might be ahead of them. But, they are working on these set plays. And when it comes game time, like you're limiting, like what Adam just said, what you're going to work on, knowing how you're going to attack a defense specifically. And it's not going to be so wide open to where Luke Getzey can call anything right now, and the offense has to adjust and make sure they know the right play, the placement, and all the things that go into it. So it's definitely a complex thing that the Bears are working on right now.
By the way, I didn't say it was a good question. People in the comments, I said it was a good answer,
and sometimes
it led to a good answer. I think the spirit of what Potsy was trying to ask was a good question to get answered. Was the delivery perfect? No, but who cares? Like the question got asked and it got answered, and we got a good quote from Justin Fields out of it.
It gave insight,
Yeah.
and that's something Carm's always tried to teach me. It's not about the question; it's about getting a great answer.
I did try to teach you that. I don't even know.
You've tried to teach me that a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why you're such a good guy.
Thank you so much.
And a pro.
Sometimes I got news for you. Sometimes the dumbest questions get the best answers.
Honestly.
I just give Mark Potash credit. It was not his best question. He had to explain himself multiple times. A lot of media dudes would fall out of there and wouldn't hang in there. Potash will just keep going, and there's a certain Mark Potash muscle that I wish I had, because I would have gotten out of that situation. He just was like, and then ultimately he said, well, sometimes the office just sucks. He said it. It takes, you got to give a guy like that credit. I understand that all the people saying that was a bad question. I'm just telling you, it takes some guts to do what he did there.
It's hard. Sometimes I have so many, thoughts flowing through my head when I want to ask a question. Like when I was at the combine, and you try to put it in a condensed version of your thoughts, and sometimes it can just spill out of you. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to get an answer of the question you have. So Mark's question of ultimately, well, sometimes the defense is just, or sometimes the offense just sucks. That just reminded me of 2019. When the Bears signed Khalil Mack in 2018, he didn't go to training camp. And then the next year at camp, all of Bears fans were hyped for a Super Bowl contending year. And we got to camp, and what did we see? We saw Khalil Mack dominating every first-team rep. And Dan Wiederer, to his credit, and we've had our back and forths, but he was the first on it to say, something's not right here. And I'm, Meatball Greg, trying to rationalize it as to why. And I go, well, Khalil Mack is dominating every rep, and the offense can't get a clean play in because every time Khalil Mack's in the backfield. And sometimes that's what happens when you're trying to decipher what's happening in practice. Khalil Mack is an amazing talent, but at the same time, trying to balance that against what the offense still should be doing despite that, that's where you kind of get caught in the weeds. So I think it was a good question to get that answer out of Fields to explain what you're trying to get out of camp.
And just lastly on it, Fields could have just fluffed that off and said whatever he said and be done with it. But he actually cared to give an answer and explain what was going on, not just for Potash, but for you, the Bear fan. And I just thought that there was an extra level that Fields wanted to go there that was impressive.
Yeah, I look, Fields did not win the day on the practice field. He won the press conference.
No doubt.
And we can certainly have a debate over which one of those is more important. It's probably the first, but I thought for what could have been a very, very frustrating day and him being in a very bad mood potentially, he came in there and I was very impressed with how he handled himself, how he owned everything that happened today, how he explained what happened today, how he admitted the energy has to be better. I feel very optimistic that Friday's going to be a much better practice from Justin and the offense. And honestly, I'm surprised I'm saying this. I hate there's an off day tomorrow. I wish there was practice tomorrow to watch because I don't want to have to wait 2 days to see how they bounce back. Now I know Nick is ready for a nap.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's like, I need to go to bed.
If there's one,
Stop waking up at 4:00.
Yeah.
It's a dog. Dog wants to go play catch. You got to go play catch.
Get
Go
rid
get
of the
work.
dog.
No, I can't
Yeah,
get rid of the dog.
I'm doing another Bears After Dark at 8, and I'm excited to talk to all you guys there, and then Cubs post game. So I won't be getting home until 1 a.m. So I'm not that upset, but I love going to training camp and living my dream here at CHGO Sports. So I certainly am not complaining. I'll never forget the bricklaying days. If I can leave one last note on one positive from the offense, is Darnell Mooney is starting to be elevated to more reps. Mm-hmm. They had him in more 11-on-11 team drills today, and so that means he's progressing along in a positive direction. You add that with Chase Claypool continuing to make plays. He made more today. You combine that with DJ Moore, and they're going to have something cooking down the road, and that's a positive sign for the offense, if any, today.
All right, fun day, fun show. Bears win.
We love you.
Go Bears. Bears. Super Bowl. We're again, Brags tonight, 8:00 for Bad After Dark.
Bad After Dark. The bad is already in the after. You don't have to say bad after. It's just bad.
That's true.
Okay, for the bad show.
You
Don't call it the bad.
No, okay. In all fairness, tonight's show is going to be awesome because Jack is great. He knows his Hall of Fame stuff. He knows the process like better than almost anyone. So I'm excited to hear you talk to Jack about the Hall of Fame and Mongo and Devin Hester, and it's going to be a great show. We will be off tomorrow. So the Bears don't practice tomorrow. We're going to take a day off, even though I said # no days off for the record.
That's right.
I did not say that.
I'm going to bring my Shady Rays and hit the links so I can keep practicing for Cog Hill. Make sure you get your tickets August 25th for our CHGO Kickoff Classic. Can't wait for it. And we've got a bunch of foursomes in there, so go grab yours now. Become a diehard.
Bob Jacobson was out at practice today, my man, and he signed up for a foursome. So super excited. It was great to see him and his wife and his two kids out there.
The CHGO, because when you sign up, you have to click that you got it through the CHGO Bears are the reason you're signing up. And we are going to win this competition because CHGO Cubs might be talking smack over there, but I promise we're going to win this competition.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's run them. Get these guys out of here. Put Bears in there. You're coming. You're going to hang out with us. We're going to have a great time.
CHGO Bears. Put it down.
All right. Brags, Bears, Bad, After Dark tonight.
And Hassan, yes, there's a show Saturday and Sunday. We're doing shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When the
Off
Bears
day,
go, we go.
Off day tomorrow, but the Hall of Fame game is tomorrow night. Football is on TV tomorrow night. And I don't care that it's just preseason. Let's go.
I think
I'll
they
be at
already
the
said,
Cub game.
I'll be at the Cub.
You don't deserve to go, but that's a different story for another day.
Wow. Nope.
Don't ever tell me anything like that ever again. I've put in so much more time than you. You are a baby, and you need to come to my class before you speak.
Wow. Okay. 8:00 tonight. Bears.
Yeah, it's the Jets on the Hall of Fame.
CHGO, Bears After Dark. And we're back Friday at 3:00 after practice. It's going to be a fun practice. Justin's going to be back. Bears offense is going to be back. We'll talk to you then. See you then. Bye.